Now, I'm back again, yeah? Leo mtanipamit, niko na ngoto ile moja. Mtanipamit. Anyway, sometimes I can be very funny. I found that thing I have. I didn't know I can be funny, by the way. But let me tell you, in Jesus, even the childish things that people see you and they say, this guy is so childish. This lady, akona utoto mingi. The good thing about Christ, hiyo anaiembrace. Kwanza anafurahianga sana. That's why he said, let these little young children come to me. Come to me, because there's the child in you that nobody will ever understand. Ukumbuke tokio mdogo unafanya vitu, and that's how I've personally nimekuja kujua ni ukweli. I may not understand in my own ways because I see it with my son. Sometimes I see what he's doing and I am somehow provoked because I don't understand. And I asked my mother if the same thing that he's doing while I was doing as a young child, she was provoked. And my mother was sincere with me and told me, yeah, to some extent I would even lock you guys there because I am bored. What are you guys doing? You see, because of the levels that human beings have been upgraded. Now maybe she was at her 20s while she was having us. So at her 20s, she expected that some things in her 20s, such a young child will understand. To some extent, she would humble herself and lower herself to the level of a child, play with the child and all these things. And the people who actually execute these things to the best of the best ways, it's male. Mimi hiyo nimeona pia na baba yangu. My son is so young, he does things and I don't know, there's a bond a father and a child have. A father can lower himself to the level of a child and they can do amazing stuff because the child sees the father in the same level. Imagine, see the way you men are good. You see the way you men, exact print of Christ, because even Christ, he lowers himself to your childishness and you're in the same level. That's why you can even laugh and cry hysterically and make a certain laugh that is not even and Christ will be like, yo, this is dope. Hey, you man. Now I understand. There are things that he shows me, I'm like, indeed men are men. Men are exact print of Christ. If only now they connect. You connect with Christ. You guys are going far. Because some of the characters you display, you're exactly displaying the characters of Christ. Going back to Genesis, the way he created you, gave his print to you, breathed his life, breathed his soul to you. That's why you guys, you can humble yourself. You can meet somebody who has, and this is that type of man that God created. There's another type of man that God never created. We will talk to that type of man in another video. But this one I've seen it with the majority. You meet a man can see a woman struggling, kwa tao anauza vitu na msee ameguzwa tu, si ati anataka kununua hiyo kitu, lakini because ameona bidii ya huyu mwanamke na ni mwanaume, ameona bidii ikampendeza tu, akaamua acha nimpromote, hata kama hii kitu siendi kupea, ataenda apatie hata stranger. That is Christ. Anakuwa impressed by the little things, the things you do, because he understands. So how can a man reach that level if that is not Christ in you? That should click. It's Christ in you is making things activated in you to make things the way you see them. Now, somebody explain to me how somebody, like a man can see somebody is suffering You see, men don't withhold. Tuseme akapita hivi na kakuona manzi unataabika, hata kama alikuwa na 20 bob atakupa hiyo 20 bob yote, na atembea akitembea akisema Mungu tu atanionekania. Is that not a character of Christ? Kindness, it is, and so many of you men have it. Let's continue. A man sees his wife complaining, hey, baby, oh, baby. He's very silent, looking at you, wondering, sasa huyu. Then he wakes up. Unamwambia, yani unatoka hapa. He goes. Do you know that man usually talks to someone because he believes there's somebody mighty who is listening to him? The fact that you men are doing that, it should click you're talking to Christ. It's just that auja complete mission by knowing it is Christ. That should show you that you're a perfect creature who has a print of Christ in the beginning, as long as you're a man. Because he created you guys. Tell me. For me, these are things I've seen. I've ever gone to a bar. Me, courtesy of my father. My father drinks. And my father, one thing I love about my father always tells us about God. One. And he always tells us to be open-minded. Don't judge, because he doesn't. So my father, it's not once or twice he has taken us to the grid, and that's why I love my father. Even if he tells me, hey, nipeleke nikaonje mbili, I will take him. Why? When I'm in that place, I've ever seen, and I don't know why it used to occur to me all the time, I would see men, various types of men. The good ones, the bad ones, the ones who are going through a lot, and they come there to share their issues in the bar. So there was this specific day I went with my father. He asked me, Mom, utakunywa nini? And I told him, me nitakunywa maji, because anyway, me I'm good with water. Water is life. You see, this thing you are drinking is not bringing life, but water is life. So I asked him, me I will take water. Me I take water. And I am tupari in my macho. And there was this one man, when my father was drinking, hata yeye alifeel. This guy was crying. Yes, he's drinking. This man, and he was just saying out loud. He was speaking out loud, saying, ni nini sijaifanya? Mbona ninapitia haya yote? Kujituma nimejituma. Nimefanya nikafanya. Sijui akafanya. Some things were so personal that he had to shout. But for me, I felt like he knew whom he was talking. He had to lewa himself. He had to be in a staggering moment for him to say what is eating his heart. Ni nini inamuuma kwa moyo? Akaongea. So me, I felt so bad for the guy. But because I didn't know what to do, I just sat there. So my father, he woke up and he went and sat with that guy. Akamwambia, ebu sema tu yote vile iko. The guy cried. I've never seen men cry. Okay, I've ever seen my dad. There's a time when he lost his friend and he cried very much. My brother also witnessed that. So this was the second guy I've seen crying. A man. And he cried and cried and cried. Then he was talking and telling this being, because he knew there was somebody who was listening. The fact that he knew there was somebody superior listening to him, even though he's drunkard, to me it clicked. This guy knows there's somebody superior. How I wish he knew the name of this superior person he's saying is Jesus. But the fact that he knows there's somebody superior, God, in your own ways, reveal Jesus to him, amuone hapo to hapo. Kumbe, the Jesus will be my father. God will use my father to be the element of Jesus this guy needed to see. So my dad told him, you say everything. I was just there drinking water. And the guy, even my dad alikuwa amefika mahali sasa amesikizia zake anaona ni kama sasa zangu zimeanza kushika kidogo. But he listened. My father was so quiet. This is another character I see. I have seen it with men. He listened and listened. He never even judged him. He asked him, umesema yote? Akamwambia, hapana rafiki yangu. Akaongea, akalia. Babangu akakuja akamtap hapa akamwambia, it is okay. It is okay. It will be fine. Usijali, mambo itakuwa poa. As long as God liveth and you are alive. I remember, if God liveth and you are alive to this date, he is going to make a way. That is what my father told the guy. Na unajua hata yeye alikuwa wapi? Alikuwa zake zimeshika kidogo. Mimi niko hapa nakunywa maji tu. Mtoto inakunywa maji. So me, that thing, I went asking myself questions. And these are things that my father does that my mother doesn't know. But my mother feels my dad has done. And my mom, the relationship about my dad and my mom is just wonderful. My mother, I've never seen her sijui nini, no. Because my dad respects my mother and my mother respects my dad. That's why I say respect is a worship to God. So these two people who are my parents, they do understand these things. But who is making them understand? It is Christ in them. Ndo aliwafanya wakakuwa one. Because Christ ndio foundation yao. So I saw that. And I have seen it even with some of my friends. Some of my acquaintances, I don't call them friends nowadays, acquaintances, because they came to my life at a specific period and now I don't know what they are doing because I lost all contact. But I know, because I have seen them, even them, they have reached there and they displayed this one. Very quick to listen, slow to speak. And also they have executed another thing, slow to anger, which is written in the book. Which book is this one that says you need to be slow? I think it is in the book of James. Men have executed this. But have you ever asked yourself, why is it that you're the one executing this? Do you know it is the power of Christ in you, that which you have not yet identified? That's why I say, please men, go back to Christ. Your soul already knows Christ is with you. Your spirit already knows Christ is with you. Your body is the one that is fighting. But it will one day be subject to Christ the moment you go to him and tell him, here I am, Lord. This is me. I surrender and confess all my bad things I've done sincerely from my heart. And that is where he's going to officially show you so many things that are your identity, men. So women, this video, you can share with your friend now. But for me, my prayer is that men, you may connect with Christ. Because the moment you connect with Christ, all things will make sense. All things will make now sense, real sense. Sawa? Haya. Mimi nitakwambia hivi kitu moja. Read your Bible. Pray every day.